Hello, welcome to Aviation 101 with Laura. Today I'm trying something different. My question is, aircraft dispatcher versus Chat GPT AI. What can Chat GPT do that a dispatcher can do, and what does it not understand? So I've actually not tried any of this before. I tried a little bit of it with weather reading, but I'm gonna input the information into Chat GPT, and then we're gonna see what it says from the aircraft dispatcher perspective. See what Chat GPT says about this weather. Okay, it does recognize that it's a TAF. It does recognize it's New York. And let's see what it does. Well, it has the right time. Okay, yep. And we had the valid time. Okay, that's also right. Good job. And it looks like it's even giving me a summary that it has low ceilings, poor visibility, IFR. Wow, cool. And then it has some other information where it's got the next line of the TAF. Good job, ChatGPT. Apparently it's translated that right. And then it's got that information correct too, as far as the wind and then what time and that kind of thing. So at 14 Zulu, that's summarizing that it's going to get better. Cool. Okay. Oh, do you want me to also convert this into local New York time instead of UTC? No, thank you. All right, cool. Well, good job on that one. So let's try that. All right, let's see. We got that it's an observation. It does recognize that, that it's not a forecast. Good job, ChatGPT. All right, we have got the observation from, quarter mile, very poor is what it calls it. Yeah, okay. Overcast ceiling at 500 feet, temperature 9 degrees, dew point 2 degrees Celsius. Yep, and that was a super short one, and it helpfully tells me that's low IFR conditions, not good for VFR flying. And we will just see. Now, I have a video I made about takeoff alternates, so let's ask it, is a takeoff alternate needed at JFK at that same weather? And hopefully it understands that I want the same weather, okay? Oh, all right. You're going to spit back at me 121,617. Cool. Good job. And it is comparing. So it does have the METAR still in there, quarter mile, 500 foot overcast. So ILS minimums are around, ChatGPT, come on. Okay, let's stop, hold up. All right. A ceiling is not a requirement to fly an approach for any airport in the United States for 121 air carriers. Visibility is required, yes, but not the ceiling. So hold up, there's already an issue with that. Okay, so I don't love at all that ChatGPT seems to say that we need a 200-foot ceiling to fly an approach. But it is correct in the fact that the METAR that I gave it was a visibility of a quarter mile, which is in fact below standard landing minimums of half statute mile for an ILS. Interestingly, it didn't actually find an ILS for me. Okay. It did say correctly that the alternate must be within 1 hour normal cruise speed, still Air 1 engine and operative. Yeah, that's good. I will say for the 767 that we used to operate where I worked, it was 250 nautical miles, so that's cool. How about, do we need an alternate for arriving at 1415? Okay. So I was checking my TAF from before. It re-spit out the domestic operation rule. And it helpfully told me, it was 121,619. Okay, so it checks the TAF. Oh, and it actually does look at 1 hour before to 1 hour after the ETA. And it does include a portion before 14Z where conditions are below 2,000 foot and 3 miles and an alternate is required. Yep. Okay, so it does say, yes, during the 15:15 Zulu window, 14:15 to 16:15, so an hour before to an hour after my proposed estimated time of arrival, we do meet the 1, 2, 3 rule. So an alternate is not required for the 15:15 Zulu arrival, and that would be correct. So I tried to fool it with my 14:15, but because of the hour before, hour after, it caught that. And it is definitely correct that you don't need an alternate at 15:15. Well, let's ask it about flag. So under flag rules, it has personality. It's kind of freaky. Okay. So it tells me for a flag rule, alternate is always required unless the destination has ETA, blah, 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 blah. This is stricter than, So it does say, so I asked it about an arrival time of 15:15 Zulu. Okay. And it does know the rule 121.621. Good job. It can read text. Okay. And then it compares again with the weather, plus or minus an hour from my estimated time of arrival of 15:15. Yeah, and it has that right. So yes, under Part 121 flag rules, an alternate is not required for JFK arrival at 15:15. But hold up, Chat GPT, you didn't quote the whole 121.621. No, you did not. This is actually wrong. This is flat out wrong because it also matters how long the flight is. Actually look this up in ECFR for you guys right here. Key importance. Number 1, the flight is scheduled not more than 6 hours. So going back to ChatGPT, it didn't actually ask how long the flight is. So let's say this was a 7-hour flight or an 8-hour flight arriving at JFK. Doesn't matter what the weather is. According to 121.621, if it's a flag operation, then it does need an alternate, no matter what the weather is. That is what 121.621 actually says. So ChatGPT, you failed that one. You should have asked me, how long is the flight? Okay. All right, I'm going to try to break you again. Let's ask about supplemental rules. For supplemental rules, oh, it knows it's 121.623. Sweet. Okay, let's see what it says. Interesting weirdness. Okay, an alternate is always required. That's true. An alternate is always required. I am baffled by this other thing that it's pulling out. 121. Let's go to 121.623. Except as provided in paragraph B of this section, each person releasing an aircraft for operation under IFR or over the top shall lease at least once. So that is why you have to have an alternate. Okay. But then B is just for if you don't have an available alternate at all, which is not this. There are available alternates for JFK. So I have absolutely no idea why ChatGPT is saying anything like this, because this is not true. A supplemental carrier under 121.623, it has to have an alternate for every flight unless one is not available. And if one is not available, then we would have to actually, if it was a turbine engine aircraft, we have to then carry, if we have a airport that does not have an available alternate, we go to this part of 121.645 and we have to have 2 hours normal cruise fuel consumption. So I'm sorry, ChatGPT, again, you failed. Supplemental rules, that requires an alternate unless there's not one available. So I don't know. I would not trust it to dispatch my flight. So let's see what it says about some pilot reports. Ooh, I like that it decoded my location. I knew Teterboro was there, but okay. And I like that it tells me it's an Embraer Phenom 300. That's nice. Let's see with the wind. All right, it does have the right location, the right altitude, flight level. Yep, 500 feet. Wind, yep, turbulence. And then it does light turbulence during descent to runway 19. Low level wind shear alerting system. Yeah, that is what low level wind shear, well, that's what it stands for. But really in a PIREP, that means that the aircraft had low-level wind shear plus or minus 5 knots on its descent to runway 19. So I don't really agree with this part of its translation because that is a system installed at airports, but this is a pilot giving the report. Interesting. Okay. Slight quibble with that one, ChatGPT, but mostly you passed that one. Okay, let's see. Let's another one here. That, again, I didn't really know exactly where this is. Oh, so it translated correctly. It is 20 miles east, so 090 radial off the Groton, VOR. Cool. Cessna 172, yeah, it's 6,000 feet. Okay, no turbulence. All right, so this actually means turbulence was forecast, but it didn't have any. That's technically what neg means. I know negative, but it also means it was forecast, but it wasn't there. Flight visibility, 10 miles, good job. And then visibility more than 10. So it even did okay at translating my plain-ish language reports. Okay. So I sent it Opspec C78 from my own dispatch class that I teach. We have fake Opspec C78 and put some NOTAMs out here. Basically, NOTAMs that I generated saying that the centerline lights are out of service. And let us see what happens. So from my C78, okay, we have information. Wow, it actually, okay, so it did pull some information off my C78 Opspec. So an air carrier with C78 can legally depart runway 1 left at San Francisco with as low as 600, 600, 600. That's actually correct. It pulled that from my company's, it's really my fake airline Opspec C78, which says that under paragraph 3, we have touchdown zone, RVR 600, mid 600, rollout 600, as long as everything, the HURL works, operating runway centerline lights working, and we have RVR systems. So comparing with that, it does say that's correct. It requires 2 operating RVR systems. Let me actually pull up my San Francisco 10-9 chart so you guys can see it. So we have the 10-9 chart, and that does show that on runway 1, right, we have 2 required readouts. And even more interesting, now if you have centerline lights and high intensity runway lights, you could take off with as low as 500 RVR, but actually my company says 600 RVR is required in our Opspec C78, and Chat GPT actually got that right. So we could depart with that on runway, let's see, 1 left. And let me look at 1 left now. It's a little bit weird. 1 left actually only has 2 RVR transmissometers. Chat GPT says we need 600, 600, 600. That's actually not technically correct because it's not available on that runway. So it would be 600, 600, technically. And then we have another expansion and another expansion that is also correct per Opspec C78. I'm somewhat impressed by that. Pretty good. Pretty good. Oh, I reached my limit of messages. I'll try again. Oh, that is very sad. Okay, I might have to make a part 2 of this video to see what happens when I ask ChatGPT to derive alternate minimums with Opspec C55. So, I don't know, what do you guys think? What else should I play with this? What have you played with? Is this going to replace dispatchers? I mean, some of it is right, some of it is flat out wrong. Let me know in the comments. I'm super curious to know what you guys think. AI dispatch. Where are we headed? Thanks and have a great day from Aviation 101 with Laura.